the one and only Richflee, rapper, artist, model. You're doing a lot of things, man. Getting your merch on nowadays, businessman, entrepreneur, the one and only. Let's give it up for Mr. Richflee.
I appreciate it, man. We good.
Thank
Everybody
you
can
for
hear me in the
joining us
chat.
today, man. Thank you. Um, you see, I got my background ready, man. I'm trying to. I see you doing your thing out here.
Yes, sir.
You got say pretty girls love Rich Fleet. That's your motto right here. Your merch.
That's the
Um,
motto.
Tell us a little bit about Rich Flea and the things that got going on right now. Tell us everybody that doesn't know about Rich Flea. Who is Rich Flea and why are why you popping? What's going on? Tell everybody.
What's going on, man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
make a maze on, man. Tell me
Yeah,
how you living your life out here, man. Tell us a
absolutely.
little bit
Nah,
about that.
I just want to say thank you for having me on here. It's an honor to be a part of this. And Rich Flea, man. Rich Flea he's got a lot going on. Rich Flea is working on an album right now. Rich Flea is working on life. Rich Flea is working in the gym. It's a lot going on that been keeping me stable. I will say right now we got the merch going on. I'm doing a lot of promo that's surrounded around my album that I'm working on. This will be my second album that I have coming out. Pretty Girls Love Rich Flea. And working on this album has been a fun process. Just the battles of life of girls, relationships, personal things going on. And it's a lot of fun sounds. So that's really where this whole Pretty Girls Love Rich Flea started. It started off actually from a friend of mine just kind of saying it, and then we ran with it. And then from there, I just capitalized off of it. I was like, let me do an album. Let me do some merch surrounded around it. Let me do a lot of things surrounding that name and turning that into a brand itself. So yeah, man, really just been working this since my birthday on this album, finishing it up, finally getting this merch out. First time I ever did merch, and it was really successful. So I'm glad for everybody to get their merch and the ladies to be wearing and showing it off. And yeah, man, just been locked in. Just been in the gym, man. That's been keeping my mental going. Uh just
That's
working,
awesome.
staying down, and we here, man. We here. So
That's awesome to hear, man. Happy belated. Look like you had a good summer. I'll be checking you out on social media. For those who don't know, like I said, this is my nephew. It's a family thing. And tell us about your experience working with the Mecca Made family and how it all got started for you. And tell everybody about your experience for those who doesn't know how your journey got started in the music.
yeah, absolutely. So with me, it started off at I was 18 years old when I started making music. And I was never the person that grew up wanting to be a rapper in high school, middle school. That was never like an aspiration of mine. It was always sports and things like that. But I remember when I graduated, I would just go to the studio a lot with my friends. And I found myself just being around and really enjoying it. I always had a love for music. I always enjoyed music. I always felt like I had an ear for it. I always heard music differently than others. And one day I just got in the studio like, yo, let me just try a song. And from that day, I made a song in 2018. 7 years later, it's still going. I started off in Gwinnett, and then I ended up linking up with my cousin Steve, the Gifted, Wavy LaFlair. They ended up moving out to the A. And once we linked up 2019, 2020, we all moved in together and we got the ball rolling with everything, and we really, starting making made from the ground up at the crib, and just the studio sessions, the late night meetings, the performances, the events, just really seeing that all catapult from 2020 to now has really been like an honor. I mean, just the media training, the artist development that I was able to endure from being with Mecca Made, and just all the ins and outs of the business. I think that's the one of the biggest things that I learned aside from the music and recording was the business side of it, and learning how to handle your own business and learning how to go about contracts and whatnot. I think that was one of the biggest takeaways from being with Mecca Made, and just kind of learning and working on my craft, having to go through seasons where it ain't no music being dropped, is working on the music and working on behind the scenes, the brand, and polishing all of that. So I'm really, really honored to, have, a team that came in and seen something in me and wanted me to grow and prosper. And, it's kind of send you off, they kind of prep you up. It's kind of like I think of it as like I would think of it like a baby bird coming into this game, and you learn, you in that nest for a second, and then you got to get your own wings and get to grow. So just give me the chance to just learn and be myself, and then finally grow, and take matters into my own hands is a blessing that I won't take for granted. So shout out to Mecca
That's
Made.
awesome, man. That's awesome. It seems like you got a lot of knowledge there, working with your family. It's a great experience. And
Yes.
like you said, just being an artist and all so many things that you go through and just trying to get experience. Like you said, it's called Mecca Made University. So you guys seem like y'all had a lot of training going on over there. You're still learning, and it's a process. And I noticed you mentioned the year 2019, and you
2019.
always, speaking of 2019, your cousin put out a project, See You Next Summer. In 2019 seemed to be a big year for you guys. Tell us about your collaborations with him. You seem to get a lot, y'all get together and y'all make so many great hits together. What makes that combination work so well together, you and Wavy Air?
I think it's the selfness, that we're not selfish when it comes to making music. It is a lot, the ego, the pride, none of that is in the room when me and Wave are creating music. It's straight, how can we make the best record? How can we come together to really make this something that we haven't made before? And I think it's just over time being in the gym with each other and literally getting shots up. Oh, we've been getting shots up since 2019. So I mean, from that of just working, like the improvement in the growth that we've had from our music is crazy. I mean, there's songs that people would never hear, but we were just in the gym so much of just trying to make good music, being intentional about the music that we make. How can we make this record? Oh, you got this idea, bring in two creative brains and infusing that into one is much more powerful. And just over the time, bro, just talking and just sitting in late night studio sessions and just trying to figure out, music came to us always easy. For me and Wave, music always came to us. We started around the same time. So I feel like with us starting music around the same time and literally start from the ground up around the same time, and then being able to move and really get to pick at each other's creative brain, that's helped a lot. The music that we listen to, the things, similar influences, we be on the same page with a lot of things. And sometimes we're like, nah, that might not go. This might go, but we figure it out at the end of the day. So I just think over time of just being in the gym together really helped us be able to perfect that duo. And it was always a natural thing. It came very natural. We just always had an ear for music, and we hear two different things. So that I think that brings like the diversity of when it comes to making a record. So it isn't just one opinion. It's like, no, I hear this, we come together and we make it work. So man, when you're in the gym with your brother, when you're getting shots up, when nobody's looking, that's when that chemistry it gets formed behind the scenes when people don't see it. Then we pop out. It's like, yo, Rich Wave, I ain't know y'all was doing it, man. We've been working on this for a while. So I just, like I said, man, that practice, and then when nobody's watching, and those hours when nobody's there and it's just y'all and y'all just figuring out a way how to make it. I think that's what really was able to bring us
Yes,
together and be
indeed.
cohesive sound.
Gotcha. Like speaking of getting shots up, I know you like to watch ball. I know you're a big ball. I like to talk about sports when everybody's on my show. I have a balance. I like to talk about the culture, sports, uh, anything that's going on positive. But I know you're a Lakers fan, and I had your cousin on here a little bit. We talked about some b-ball. He's a Boston fan, so that's crazy. Lakers in Boston, y'all got
Yeah.
big battles when it comes to game night. So tell us how you became a Lakers fan. I see you got your with Ravens jersey on, but we'll talk about that in a few. But how'd you become a Lakers fan? Was it a Bron thing, or let the people know, man?
Hey, listen, I'm a man that wants to live by my truths. It's always been a Braun thing for me. I never forget my first game I ever watched. I was at my aunt India's house. It was 2011. It was LeBron and the Mavs. This is like my first vivid game that I ever remember turning on and seeing myself. It was Braun and the Mavs, the Heat and the Mavs, and Braun was on the Heat at the time. And they lost the finals. But I had seen LeBron like playing. I was like, yo, he's like great. I remember my brother was telling me about him, but I finally got to watch him. And from that year, I've followed Bron since, from the Heat to the Cavs, back to the Cat. Like, so that just came over time of watching basketball. Honestly, I'm a Bron fan, man. Like Bron, I go where Bron go. I ain't gonna lie. I pack my suitcase up wherever Bron say we going, we going. I don't know why
Okay.
I never felt like a certain loyalty to a certain team when it came to like the NBA thing, just
Yeah.
because Braun was always my favorite player, and I was like, bro. I gotta watch Braun. Like wherever Braun go, it's
You
just that's
sound
just
like
who it
you sound like my
is.
man Wallow. You know how Wallow say I'm sticking with the winners, baby.
I got 20 jerseys, man. I got a Heat jersey, a Cavs jersey, a Lakers jersey. Hey, man. That's what it is, man. I gotta go where
Hey,
Braun at when it comes to the NBA.
well, I asked a few guests this question, and I asked Wade the same. I'm going to get you to. I say Bron is going to be the captain of your five, so you got to pick four other guys to go run with Bron, and you coaching. You coaching. Pick the four other guys that you've been watching ball. You ain't got to go way, way back, but just give me the four guys that you want to pick. And
Yeah, I
since you've been
was.
watching ball, that you would put together with Bron to
Yeah.
go win a chip. Give me your four guys.
Woo. All right. I'm gonna get my honest for it. Like you said, I could go way back, but I'm gonna kind of stay with the new generation right now and who I've been watching over the last few years.
You can
So,
go all time, though. You can go
okay, we
all
can go all
time.
time. Woo!
Yep.
All right, let's go. All right, number one, I'm gonna put Luca at the one. I'm gonna put Luca at the one. I got Luca point guard. Um, my shooting guard, I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with. Dang, I gotta go old school. It just feels wrong to go with the new generation over the old generation. If I had to go, I'm gonna go ahead and draft Kobe. I'm gonna put Kobe at the two. I got Luca. I got Kobe. I got Braun right now. Scary. Then at the four, I'm gonna go Antetokounmpo. I'm gonna go Antetokounmpo. And then if I have to go number five, old school, I would go Shaq. New school, I would go Jokic.
Tell
Oh,
me that five one more again. Sound like you all over the place. Give me that five one more time. You said Bron, Giannis.
I said everybody. Yeah, I said
No,
everybody.
you said Bron,
I
Giannis,
said
Luca.
Luca. I said Luca, Kobe, Braun, Giannis. And I would say if I had to go to old school, new school generation, it would be between Shaq or it'd be between Jokic for my five.
You got to take one.
I'm going Shaq.
Okay.
I'm going Shaq.
Beat him. You
I'm
want to
going
beat him.
Shaq.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Shaq. Ain't nobody
You
stopping
might not be
Shaq.
invited. You might not be invited to LA. You
Yeah.
take the Joker. No, it's all good. You're a Lakers guy, so I know you got to have a little bit of
Yeah.
bias with that. But
Yeah.
I also want to talk to you, man, just about your squad. We'll get back to the music, and I got you on here for a few, and I want to let everybody know about some other things you're going. I hope you got a little bit of merch to show the people while you're here. Hope you got
I
some
do.
merch close by, so you can show the people a little bit. But I want to talk about your squad right now. It's becoming a difficult season for you. You got your Ravens jersey on. I know you're a big Ravens fan. You play in my fantasy league. I know you're a big Lamar guy. I know you're a big King Henry guy. You grew up in the DMV. Let's start there because that's how you became a Ravens fan. So tell us how you became a Ravens fan first and foremost, and what's going on with your team and how you feel about the struggles you guys are going through right now and your love for the Ravens.
Yeah. Like you said, man, grew up in West Baltimore for a couple years. Was really raised down in Atlanta, but in Gwinnett to be exact. But my dad, my sisters, they all from Baltimore, and that was just always in me. I mean, my dad, big Baltimore Ravens fan, so that kind of got passed down to me. And I started watching football at a young age, and I mean, I was always a fan of the game. I didn't understand the game until I really got older. But uh, yeah, man, being a Ravens fan has been a curse and a blessing. I feel like we had our 2000 run, we had our 2012 run, and we ain't seen the sun since 2013. I want to be is it 2013 or 2012? That season, y'all know we won the Super Bowl, 49ers, whatever. But since then, the sun ain't been bright, on our side. And I mean, yes, we made the playoffs, we did all those things. And then personally, I feel like there was a lack of awareness when it came to surrounding Lamar around the right pieces when he first got the keys to this offense. I feel like there was a lack, and I feel like there was a lot of years wasted with Lamar early, because people wanted to stick to their philosophy. And hey, I'm not no coach of no sort, but if I was, I would have put the right pieces around Lamar the first season we got him started. Specifically to this year, I'm not sure what's happening. We took a bad turn ever since that Bills game when we were up 40-24. And in that game, when we collapsed, I feel like that just that killed the whole vibe of the team. And I feel like that really affected the team because on paper, you could say we have a top 5 roster. I could agree with you. I would say not 5, number 1. But when you look at the numbers and statistics, it's not matching up with the players. Now it goes back to, is this a coaching scheme? Is this a lack of awareness on the players' end? There's a lot of things to pick and choose from. I will say, though, when I got 8, I always believe. I got number 8 on my team, and when he comes back, I always believe there's a chance. Right now, we're 1-4. We're going to LA to go play the Rams. No, I think they might be coming here. I can't remember. We're playing the Rams this week. We might not have Lamar. We might have him. My message to the Ravens would be, play like a Raven. Please show me what that's like. I haven't seen what that's like. I would like to see y'all really perform well and finish this year off strong. Because it ain't over. It ain't over. The AFC North is kind of looking shaky. I mean, you got Burrow out. The Bengals just got Joe Flacco. And then the Browns are the Browns. And right now, the Steelers is running the North. And I just want to know, like, do the Ravens, like, want to take that disrespect? I want to know if they're going to step up to the plate, chin up, and let's keep swinging. We got to keep fighting. So I always believe, I don't believe the season's over. I feel like we got to go through a lot of hard times to get to the end. And I feel like we can turn the season around. We can go on a streak. We had one of the hardest schedules starting off this year. We got a much more smoother schedule going into the rest of the year. So I just need number 8 to come back, put on his cape. And I need everybody around number 8 to support him and do the job.
Okay.
It's time to get a ring.
Well, sound like you got a lot of answers. You can GM them boys. Sound like
I
the
could
way you
GM.
talking.
Bring me
You
in.
could GM them guys, but I'm gonna say this to you. Lamar's got to step it up as well. Number 8, he's been a Superman. I know there's been a lot of, criticism on him, and I kind of always support him. I thought our Birds was going to link up last year for the Super Bowl. I support him. He's a brother as well. I got some mutual friends who support him. He's a big mental health awareness advocate. So I always, like him on and off the field. I just want to see them, turn the corner as well. I got a couple buddies that are Ravens fans, and they're in the area, so I like to see, good football. But I just say, man, I don't know if the coaching changes may need to be made. After a while, some people get tired of hearing the same guy. I don't know how you feel about that, but we could talk about the Ravens. I'm gonna bring you on throughout my season, so we ain't gonna spend too much time on the Ravens, but I'm definitely gonna have you on throughout the season and get your Ravens inside opinion, because you know what you're talking about. But I'm gonna move forward a little bit. I want to talk about some of your new projects that you got going on for 25, 26. So you've been dropping a few singles and a few teasers here and there. Tell the people what you got going on and what you have, in store for the people coming up through the winter and going into the new year.
Man, it has been a year. So I started working on this album. It's called Pretty Girls Love Richflee, like I mentioned to y'all. And at the top of the year, the project was actually going to be released. But life got in the way. And I say that because one, I was in a moving situation, but more importantly, we lost my album and all the files to the songs got deleted earlier this year. So we lost all the files for the songs I recorded. I had the MP3s, but I didn't have nothing to get it mixed. I couldn't send it to my engineer. So all of that was gone. Content was gone. Everything was gone. So I didn't have no album at the top of this year. Everything got wiped out on the hard drives, like just, malfunction. Crazy. Yeah. And I took that, like, I was like, man, like I was working very hard on this project. So I kind of had to step back, reconstruct the project, rework, re-record songs and all of that. And, I can finally say through the storm, there is sun. And now we are working on our second project right now, Pretty Girls Love Richflee. That's going to be dropping this month in October. And I'm very, very excited for this project to be coming. The date is coming very soon. It's coming very soon. So make sure y'all see on my Instagram for the date. But project dropping this month. And it's filled with a lot of your favorite sounds, a lot of fun sounds, a lot of new sounds. I don't think a lot of people got to hear. A lot of songs people are anticipating. And I really can't wait to share it with the world, because I do feel like this is the next step in my career. This will definitely catapult me into a different lane. And, I think there'll be a lot of more respect on my name after this project. And this is the first of many. So
put some respect on that man's name.
Yeah,
for sure. The backdrop. You see the backdrop. Pretty Girls Love Richflee.
Yeah.
What went into the artwork design or just the mindset when you came to it? Was it just the one of them nights you just woke up and like, man, I'm visualizing this scenery, and or
Yeah.
is this something that you went through personally? Tell us about what made you
Yeah.
decide to go with that mantra.
Yeah. For me, it's just always the Pretty Girls Love Richflee is it's not even in a boasting way that a lot of people may think of it, like, oh, he's just boasting himself or he's just, being, but it comes from my reality of Pretty Girls Loving Richflee, of the consequences, of the pros, of the goods, of the bad, of the happy, of the sad. That is what this project is constructed into. It's constructed from my experiences, is more than just a boasting thing. I mean, it's true. Pretty girls love Richflee, but it come with a cost. It come with a cost, and that is where this whole brand and this whole image comes from real life situations. As you can see, the pretty little thing cover right there, man. That was my boy Chance. He does really all my cover arts, and I just kind of collab with him, like, bro, this is the vision I have, and he's just always able to bring that vision to life. And I'm a big visionary, creative person. So anytime I have an idea, anytime I get that spark, I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do. And that's usually how it goes for any other cover art. But as far as the mantra, as far as that motto, that is where it comes from, of my life, of the girls in my world, and just how that has affected me as a man, what I've learned, lessons, blessings, everything. That's what it all comes from. Pretty Girls Love Richflee.
That's awesome, man. Great mindset. Like you said, it's pros and cons with everything. And I know that you are a young artist. I want to take my hat off to you. Like I said, I always salute people that are doing their thing. And I've been watching you since the very beginning. Um, even though it's family, I always want to give you honest calls and tell you how I feel about it. But I'm proud of you and tell you that, man, you've been doing your thing. I've been keeping an eye on your music, some of your pages on YouTube, and being an influencer, keeping us updated with the Ravens, everything. So, what's some of the things that you want to accomplish that's going into your next step of your career? I know some people say you can't do it all,
Yeah.
but if you had to take the top three things on your vision board this year that you really want to nail and say, I want these three things to be a part of my career, what would you say those three things are?
Man, I had a lot of goals personally and artist wise. I will say one of them is to one of them is if even if it's not this year, but the next step would be, one is to go on tour. That would be that would be a thing of going on tour to different cities.
Y'all put on great
Um,
shows too, by the way. Y'all put on some great shows too.
hey, I
I've
appreciate
been
you.
there. You got to be
Yes,
there.
sir. You got to be there. It would be going on tour. Uh, Number two would be to, man, I got a lot of goals, a lot of things that I want to keep doing.
I know you got a lot on your plate. I ain't mean to stump you, but I know
Nah,
you,
this is good. I like to think. I like to think because sometimes the quick
yeah,
is you got to think sometimes. Personal goal for me. We'll go artist. We'll go person. We'll kind of dip and dab into that. But
okay.
artist wise is to go on tour. Um, Personally for me, what to just keep being obedient and keep focusing on my goals, keep getting closer with God. That would be one of mine this year, and that's been something I've really been working on. And number three would be to, man, what's a good third one? I would say that just one of my goals is just to keep being open-minded and not, when I say not to be too comfortable as far as like artistry wise, man, just keep being open to trying new sounds and new things and working with new people creatively. Definitely going into like a new sound and new lane after this project and new ideas. Like I'm already ahead of that game, but I ain't gonna give y'all too much on that. But just already looking at the future of like where I want my music to go and how I want it to impact. I just want to keep impacting people. Let's say that. I just want to keep impacting people. I want to bring people together with the music. I want to be an impact to people in a positive way. And I think that's
Well, I
one of
think
my
you're doing
biggest
a great
goals.
job of that already. I've seen your page. I see you got fans that follow you that really are big fans, and I think I seen something recently on your page where the young lady was coming up to you saying, "Hey, I follow you," and you was just on a humble one day, just out and about taking care of some business, and somebody came up to you. You got a chance to come back around in full circle and give us some merch. So that was awesome, man. You're impacting the people. They call you the hope for a reason, and I just want to salute you and just say, man, thank you for coming on today and continue to do what you're doing. And just say this for me. Um, Kind of to tie into a little bit about what you were saying and just putting God first and just, staying disciplined. What are some of the things that keeps you focused, whether it's reading or what do you do in your spare time when you're not doing music that keeps you focused or locked in? For some of the young people out here or anybody that's struggling or going through some things, I might need to
Yeah.
just stay locked in and get focused.
Man, a couple things I can give out is look around yourself and look at your friend group and really determine who is bettering you and who is bringing and hurting you. I would say that's one thing that really help your focus. Who are you surrounding yourself with every day? Are they pushing you? Are they motivating you in any type of way? Like, and I'm not saying look at it as a transactional thing, but you need to look around who is in your friend group. That's going to be your number one thing. Your environment tells you everything. You are what you are around, you know. That will help all of your distractions. Number two is spend time to be alone. Um, and spend time to be, for me to help focus and just when I'm not doing the music, I go out on walks. I go out on walks and just be talking to myself, having talks with God, just like about everything that I'm even going through. That just kind of helps me like focus and just kind of get away from the social media and the digital world, that we are in sometimes, the social world that we're in sometimes. That helps me kind of get away. Um, Journaling helps me focus, helps me, be organized with my thoughts, I will say. That's one way to kind of organize your thoughts. I know as men we kind of go through a lot. For the men, I know that we kind of tend to hold our emotions in and our feelings in, and I know we're raised as like, oh no, don't express yourself, da da da. And I think that's one way to kind of help yourself is expressing yourself, is journaling, if it's writing down notes, if it's poetry, if it's writing a song, whatever it is. Um and I think those would be some of the biggest things. I think everybody has a little bit of their own, but that kind of helps me focus. I go read sometimes. Like I said, I go on nature walks. I disconnect. I try to disconnect as much as I honestly can. I possibly can, because I am on my phone so much. I am in the social world so much. You can overconsume sometimes, so sometimes you need to unplug, step away, and get away and just be to yourself or be around family, man. That is one way that helps me to stay grounded. I know you spoke about focus, but being grounded, man, being around family is one way definitely to just keep me
Absolutely.
away, So
Same over
uh
everything. I say that you definitely hit a lot of points. I agree with you. You got to stay grounded, stay focused, and have the right people around you. And like I said, man, that's a great answer. And just continue much success. I'm gonna ask you one or two more things before we go, because I
yeah,
definitely feel like you did your thing on that album, man. I know.
yeah.
Uh, See you next summer. What's some of your
I'm
favorite
glad you
tracks
bring it up.
on that project? I know you was featured on there. I know you still got some of your own stuff going on, but what's some of your favorite uh cuts from that album? And what other artists influence you to keep you going or make you look at, like we and him talked about Breezy a little bit,
Yeah,
how he went to the concert, but who's some of the other artists out here that you may listen to? It's like a two-part question, but who's
yeah, I
some of the
got
other
you.
artists you listen to and motivate you as well as that project that you just were on?
So for the artist question, I'm gonna say a lot of artists. A lot of my influence comes from. If I had to put three artists together, I would put Drake, I would put Bryson Tiller, and I would put Chris Brown in like that realm. And PNB Rock is an honorable mention for sure. Long live
Rest
PNB
in
Rock.
peace. Rest in peace, P.M. Rock.
That
Philly,
was
Philly.
definitely, yeah. Shout out to Philly, man. PNB Rock was really one of my like. I feel like I could connect a little bit to him more. He wasn't too mainstream. He wasn't too far away, so it wasn't like too out of reach. But that was somebody that I really like took in a lot of like just. I mean, of course, like you said, the Drakes, the Chris Browns, and Bryson Tillers. But PNB Rock was somebody that really inspired me as far as like the melodic R&B wave and making music for the girls. Like that was definitely one person that was played a factor in my foundation as an artist. We all have influences, but I would put those artists in that realm. And if you kind of sprinkle them together, that kind of created what I was able to put together and with my own sound, Richflee sound. As far as see you next summer, man, I'm glad you asked that question because I wanted to touch on that, man. That's a a great project that I actually was a part of and got to just see the behind the scenes of. Um, I think it was an amazing experience to kind of witness Wavy Air Flair be cooking that up and the process behind it. It wasn't too overcomplicated. It was very, I mean, he finished that project in like 2 weeks. You know, he had some life situation going on, and he got in the studio, and I was able to just be a part of the creative process of like helping him choose some beats for some songs, or even like, I think this track should go with this track. So I shout out to him, and I appreciate him for just trusting, you know, uh, my creative mindset to even play any part. But that he really worked hard on that. I seen behind the scenes from him doing the cover art. I was there on the ground with him, just seeing all that come together was very dope and inspiring, man. We really inspire each other. I feel like when we're working on our creative work. My favorite tracks on there. I'm gonna be biased with y'all. I know I got Us versus the World, Richflee, Boney Manana. That's
That's
one of
my,
that's my joint, man. I think we were
yeah, I like that joint too.
I remember we were upstairs in the studio and we heard the beat and it was just one of those just being in the gym moments. We collabed and we just came up with a fire idea for the hook and verses, and it just kind of all came together, man. I remember the day we made that song and we both was like, yo, this is one of them ones. Like, we knew this is a Rich Wave special. I will also have to put on there. I'm gonna do my top three. I'm gonna do my top three on this album because this project is really fire, man. I need to go tap in. I got Us versus the World. I got Life of the Party, and my next track will be Face Down. That would be my top three tracks on this project, man.
Y'all two guys, y'all two guys, man. If you know, you know. No, but no, great choices, man. Great choices. I love your choices, man. But man, it's very therapeutic bringing you guys on. Like you said, these conversations are good for me as well. So you gotta do what's important to make you happy. And I definitely just smile and having these conversations and keeping the people abreast of what's going on. They always ask me, like, what's going on, these guys? So I'm trying to bring an insight to what's going on. And thank you for sharing some time with us today, man. The one and only Richflee, man.
I
Hey,
appreciate
so
y'all,
before you
man.
go, man, you got anything you want to say to the people? Where can they find you? Where can they get all your platforms of music? Where can they locate the merch? I thought you might have a little bit of some samples you might want to
Let
show us
me
today.
let me get you a sample of my merch real quick. It's right over here. Let me grab it for you
Okay.
real quick, okay?
All right, we'd love to see it. People would love to see it, man. Richflee, he's been doing this thing, getting the merch out there to the people. I think he got shirts, hoodies. The ladies is loving it, man. So it's about that time. They call it hoodie season. So I know he's been, working hard on it, getting it out there. And you gotta have the right gear when it gets cold, man. You gotta have the right gear, and the ladies love to see you look fly. And I just want to see what he's got for the people, man. But like he's been telling us, man, Mecca Made, they definitely got a family over there. They doing what they think, doing their thing over there. So Rich is just a part of it, and he's continued to bring success and a big part to this Mecca Made movement and journey. So them guys, salute to you. What you
All
got
right,
for us, Rich?
cat. So I got something special to show y'all, man. This is the one-on-one merch. Pretty Girls Love Richflee collection. This is a part of the collection. Pretty Girls Love Richflee is the brand. This is my first merch that I ever put together. It says Pretty Girls Make Them Nervous. We got the tanks going for the ladies right now. Started selling these at the top of the beginning of September. And we pretty much sold out with my expectations and how many I wanted to sell. And I'm gonna just speak on the inspiration before we get out of here real quick. Pretty Girls Make Them Nervous is a real life slogan that I live by. I mean, you meet a pretty girl, you meet somebody that's breathtaking. She might make you a little nervous. She might make you a little, oh, hold on, let me catch myself. Let me really approach her the correct way. So everything that I have that creatively I've came up with is just inspiration from my real life. And I take my real life and I put it into the art. And that's how all these creative, dope concepts come up. So Pretty Girls Make Them Nervous. Y'all can shop with me at Pretty Girls Love Richflee on Instagram. Y'all can find my music on there as well at Richflee _. And I'm everywhere on all platforms, man. This is the beginning of something special, and I can't wait for y'all to see what I have in stored and coming up these next few months and in 2026.
Thank you for coming on, man. Can't wait till you guys go back on tour. Love when y'all come out to the Mecca. Mecca Made, love when y'all come down to Howard. We get a chance to hang out a little bit. And I've been telling people, man, y'all got to come to one of these concerts.
Yeah,
Y'all got to come
they
to one of
do.
these concerts y'all doing because
They
people don't
do.
realize y'all put on a hell of a show. And it's just, it's a journey, man. It's a
Yeah.
marathon, like my man Nipsey say. It's
Yes,
definitely
sir.
not a sprint. So continue to keep up the hard work.
Yeah.
You already know. Salute to you, love.
Yes, sir.
It is, man. So have a great, great rest of your week. Thanks for coming on the Sports Page Show, man.
All right, man. Much love. I appreciate you.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
All right. There you have it, man. One and only
Good.
Richflee. He actually just been able to continue to bless us with good music, inspiring for the young people, man. So I'm glad to have him on. And thank y'all for checking out the Sports Page Show. Continue to follow, subscribe. Hey, stay tuned. We have great conversations all season. Y'all enjoy. Have a good one.